play out. I'm reading from Zero Hedge. Australia rebuffs Trump as US demands to know what allies would do in Taiwan war. Something's up. And if Australia can be drawn into something, so can we.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, what that article says that the US told Australia, "Hey, if we go to war, just in case, if we go to war with China over Taiwan, whose side will you take?" And the Australian Defense Minister said, "Hey, that's a hypothetical right now, so we don't want to actually say anything." And this is while the Australian Prime Minister, is actually visiting China. But what that article doesn't say, and he said, "Oh, we're not going into hypotheticals." But I think as they say that, there's 19 countries doing war exercises, and including New Zealand, in Australia, Queensland. So 19 countries, including New Zealand, are doing war games or war exercises in Australia. And China's not invited. Russia's not invited. There's your South
Yeah,
Korea, your
it's pretty
Japan's,
obvious,
all of
eh?
that.
Yeah.
Now, pretty obvious. And again, when 2 years back, I said we are going to have a World War III, people didn't believe me. But now everywhere you go, there's this talk about war. No one's talking about peace. Even with the Ukraine thing now, it's not like, oh, can we achieve peace? It's just like, oh, can Trump get them to talk together? Or Trump goes, I'm throwing in the towel, you guys sort it out. As I told you, the financial system is collapsing. We need a war, and not just a simple war between two countries. It's going to be a world war because, as you saw what happened with Iran and Israel, obviously, though Israel is such a small country, you need to take sides. And Pakistan goes on the side of Iran. India will have to come this side. China, Russia go, North Korea go on the other side. And it becomes a world war, unfortunately, because most countries will have to take sides. It's just unfortunate that New Zealand has stayed out of it so long. Obviously, during World War II, we know the Anzacs and all of that. We've
Well,
taken a
no, the
certain
United
side.
States will call on us, Farzin. That'll be what happens. And then two things will have to contribute to that war in terms of dollars and equipment and capability. And we'll probably lose our largest export market, China, at the same time.
But not just that. Think about this, right? This is what I've kept mentioning over and over again. The government has no money. The government is broke. The government taxes us. Okay, let's slow down. First of all, you pay tax on your salary. Your employer has to pay a taxes to pay you the weekly wage or a fortnightly wage. Then you get taxed, and only the after-tax amount ends up in your bank account. After that, everything you spend it on has GST on it. Okay, whether you're buying food or electricity or gas or petrol, and on petrol, then again they have a tax because of whether it's global warming or whether they're going to build roads with it. So not only are you getting taxed up front, you're getting taxed on every single bit of the remaining 70% that you have. Again, when you spend it, government takes a take. And before I get away from it, because I just read this as well, the IRD has put out a paper, and I think it is the IRD or the Budget Office has put out a paper that in New Zealand, maybe we should increase the GST from 15 to 18%,
IRD put
because
it
that would
out.
just, oh,
Yeah.
yeah. It would just be the easiest way to get more money for the government. But now let me just take it back. Do you remember about 6 months back, we gave money to Ukraine?
Yep.
So the average New Zealand citizen at some stage has to say the government just decides to waste money on stuff that they shouldn't be wasting on. Or our taxpayer money is being sent to Ukraine to fight a war which we have nothing to do with, regardless of whether we see
We
Russia
don't
right
even
or
know,
Russia
Farzan,
wrong.
if it's being spent to fight a war. It might have been tapped
It's
off the
not.
side by so many people for other things because we don't know and they won't tell us.
They won't tell you, man. And the whole thing is, it goes to politicians out there. We're running, well, not we, USA was under Biden, was running the Ukraine government just single-handedly, and those taps have stopped off. But again, can you see now when I said Europe needs war, NATO is going to find a war regardless. And I think people who I follow and stuff also, Germany is trying to get people a conscription. So is the UK. So are so
Yeah.
many European countries, and France is saying, "Don't worry about the US. We've got nuclear weapons, so we'll cover Europe." Mate, this is just
So
all I
we're
want to
getting
say
ready
is
for the
thank
big
God
financial collapse. Is that what this is all signifying?
they will use the war as an excuse because even the government of Germany had a limit. That is why Germany was seen as the safest bond in Europe. But they've lifted that limit, obviously, because of Trump pressure and them having to spend on NATO and defense. Ursula von der Leyen is obviously wanting more money being spent on defense. As you see, all the defense
A
contractors are winning.
trillion
And as I
euros.
yeah, and as I told you, all wars are bankers' wars. So the whole point is the bankers will try and support both sides regardless, and they will get this to war so they can blame, hey, everything was going to be okay, but it's because of this war, it's because of Russia and China doing this, or Russia not stopping with Ukraine, or Iran did this. Again, there could be a black swan event. When I say black swan event, not a financial black swan event, but again, they have an excuse to now, and I'm telling you this in advance. So you know how we said bit 2 years? I think in August, end of July, August, the whole Iran-Israel thing will ramp up again. So for my clients, obviously, I give them investment thinking caps on to what are the things you can do before when times are up and down. So yeah, that'll ramp up again. And obviously then we go to World War III. 2026 will be the biggest, 2026, 2027. And I told you the sovereign defaults are coming. So the governments will collapse their own debt, like default on their debt. In Europe, as I told you, Germany is the one who looks most probable. They're just going down really bad. And Japan. Those two countries are in the real bad place.
They're the
In a
canary
bad
in the
place.
coal mine,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
The
Japan
first.
has 300 plus debt to GDP, mate, and their central bank has been buying more than 50% of their government bonds to keep interest rates low. And I think I sent you something recently about one of the companies, the biggest pension funds, and I mentioned this again as well. Who holds government bonds? It's your insurance companies, your pension funds, um, and yeah, they're going to suffer because they're holding on to government bonds.